You are Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, powered by Mile High Sports, part of Locked On Sports Denver on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
It is your Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST, live from Ball Arena as the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. I know it's not a hockey show, but what a rough night tonight in Colorado sports, Denver sports. Both teams losing their respective game twos, but of course, it is your Nuggets POSTCAST, and for the fellas tonight, it is a 105-102 loss to the Los Angeles Clippers in a game that got away from the Denver Nuggets, had a golden opportunity to go up 2-0, go to LA with that 2-0 lead, and Denver faltering late, missing free throws. Michael Porter Jr. might be banged up. Jamal Murray's sick. Plenty to get into on tonight's episode of your Locked On Nuggets POSTCAST. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. And tonight's episode is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. More from our friends over at FanDuel in just a little bit, but let's get on into it, talking about it.
This is what you'll be talking about.
You'll be talking a lot about a number of different things tonight with the Denver Nuggets in regards to how they were unable to get the job done here this evening against the Los Angeles Clippers. And, kind of big picture, you love the way that Denver started the game. You hate the way they ended the game. And there's a couple of metrics, a couple of stats in particular that you're going to look at here when it comes to the overall outcome of this game. First and foremost, the free throws. You cannot shoot 63% from the free throw line in the playoffs and expect to win games. As good as they were from the three-point line tonight, over 40%. From the field tonight, they weren't great, 46%, right? But there were some other aspects of the game where Denver was pretty good here tonight. Kept James Harden in check for the most part. We'll talk about Kawhi Leonard here in just a moment. But the inability to knock down free throws at a high rate is ultimately one of the big things that just killed the Denver Nuggets tonight. 14 for 22 from the charity stripe. Again, that's good for 63.6%. Just not good enough, from Denver. And real quick on that last sequence, let me pull up the quote here from David Adelman so I could read it to you guys. So obviously a bit of chaos there at the end. Christian Brown had a look, didn't take the first look, took the second look, bricked it bad. Jokic gets the ball, kind of throws it up there as well. And David Adelman has a timeout left in his pocket that he ends up not using. And, that's definitely the source of some frustration amongst Nuggets fans here tonight. Kind of a head scratcher there from David Adelman. And let me pull up this quote here real quick as I saw it coming out here from David Adelman about the timeout situation. Let me see. Where did I see this? Oh, well, there's the free throw aspect of it. But, okay, long story short, here's what I saw in regards to David Adelman not using the timeout. Talked about how, in the moment he wanted to call the timeout, and then Nikola Jokic got the ball and kind of second guess. I don't know if second guess is the right terminology to use, but Jokic had the ball, put trust in Jokic, but hindsight's always 20/20. Should have probably called the timeout there to run a final play down 3 with just a mere seconds left in this game. So the no timeout, the free throws, and, overall just Kawhi Leonard absolutely pummeling the Denver Nuggets tonight. I mean, he at one point, like midway through the third quarter, maybe even the fourth quarter, had missed one field goal tonight. He finished 15 of 19 from the field, 39 points for Kawhi, adds 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, a block. I mean, Kawhi could not be stopped tonight. That is the easiest way to put it. Kawhi Leonard was a man amongst boys out there. And clearly, after he was a bit passive, slow start in game 1, he clearly came out motivated tonight to go out there and show out, and he did just that with a solid game tonight, with the Nuggets unable to respond in that capacity. And I saw a couple comments going around from my game 1 postcast talking about, like, I'm like a Clippers fan secretly or something like that. I forget exactly what the takes are. I don't like the Clippers. There was a lot of Nuggets fans because I was saying that game 1 was more about the Clippers losing than it was about the Nuggets winning. And I'll stand by that. I absolutely think that's the narrative from game 1. I mean, I thought Denver actually played better tonight in a number of different ways than they did in game one. I think they got lucky in game one, if I'm calling a spade, to be honest with you guys. So I'm looking at it 2020. That's just from my perspective. And tonight, a little bit of the same. A game that Denver, unlike game one, where Denver, in my opinion, kind of backed into a victory, Denver could have won this game. Denver could have gone up 2-0. Denver could have gone to LA with that 2-0 series lead. And when the lights were the brightest, they were unable to get the job done. And Aaron Gordon missed a dunk there at the end that could have, swung the overall outcome of this game. Again, the free throws were a problem. Michael Porter Jr. banged up. We'll talk about him in here in just a minute because he had a nice little bounce back performance. But is Michael Porter Jr. going to be available for game 3? Is Michael Porter Jr. going to be available the rest of the series? He looked pretty banged up out there with the shoulder. And I'm live from Ball Arena, folks. I mean, and I got my correspondents in the locker room right now. And, seeing Michael Porter Jr., he has a big old ice pack on his shoulder. So that is definitely something to keep an eye on. Jamal Murray was sick tonight as well. I was standing on the baseline for Nuggets warm-ups tonight and look at my clock, and I'm like, why has Jamal Murray not come out yet? And he warmed up for maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes at the most. A shorter warm-up than usual for Jamal Murray, and he wears the long sleeves tonight, and everybody's wondering, like, what's up with the long sleeves? And we come to find out that he's feeling a little bit under the weather right now. So, look, a number of things went wrong tonight for the Denver Nuggets. They did do some good, though. Like I said, Michael Porter Jr. with a nice bounce-back game. 15-15 tonight for MPJ. How about that? 33 minutes played, 2 of 4 from 3, 15 points, 15 rebounds, an assist, a steal as well from Michael Porter Jr. Jamal Murray had a nice game in the scoring department, 23 points, 9 of 17 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. He got into a little scuffle there with Norman Powell as well. Jamal added 6 assists and 2 rebounds in addition to a steal and a block each. So a decent game there, a nice game from Jamal Murray. Christian Brown did struggle today. He did good on defense with James Harden and company, but offensively, essentially non-existent tonight for CB. Only 5 points for him, 6 rebounds, and a couple of assists along with a steal from Christian Brown. 0 of 2 from 3, including the brick there at the end, which was just hard to watch, if we're being honest with ourselves. So, again, this is easily, without a doubt, the most competitive series in the NBA playoffs right now. There's a reason why. I don't know if I said it after game one's postcast. I have Nuggets in 7. I could easily see it being Clippers in 7, though. I think this has a 7-game series written all over it because both of these teams are good in different ways. The Clippers, red hot, Kawhi Leonard, healthy, James Harden, turning back the clock. And then for the Nuggets, obviously, you've got the best player in the world, and Jamal Murray, who tends to be a playoff riser as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this series ends up playing out. But again, I just think that Denver blew a golden opportunity tonight. They had momentum, outscored the Clippers 31-25 in the first quarter, rolled over in the second, outscored 30-21 was Denver, and then it was essentially even the rest of the way. Denver outscored LA 24-23 in the third, and then LA outscored Denver by 1 in the fourth, 27-26. And that's playoff basketball, folks. It's not as easy. Things aren't going to come as naturally. The refs got involved there in the third quarter as well with that scuffle between Jamal and Norman Powell. And it felt like that zapped a bit of momentum for the Denver Nuggets in this game. So how do they respond? They got a couple of days off. They'll have 48 hours off Tuesday, off Wednesday, back Thursday. Late game again in LA. Same night as the NFL draft. So it's going to be an action-packed night. So Locked On's going to have you covered here, of course. You could also follow me on social media at Media by AP. But I tweeted it out, for a game that had a lot of juice, for a game that had a lot of energy. It was a pretty anticlimactic ending, and Denver, frankly, froze up a little bit. They froze up. Christian Brown questioned himself. Nikola Jokic was off tonight from his standards again. That's 2 games in a row from Nikola Jokic, and I know you're going to look at the box score and say, well, he had a triple-double, 26, 12, and 10. Obviously, a great stat line, but from what we expect, from what we know Nikola Jokic can do from a takeover and a leadership perspective on the court, we just haven't seen that so far in this series. And I think that final sequence of events there at the end of the game is evident of that. So a number of things went wrong tonight for Denver in the clutch. They were good early, good, solid in the third, but unable to get the job done tonight as they lose to the Clippers 105-102. And, Norman Powell had 13 points tonight. We've seen him explode before, but James Harden only had 18 tonight, folks. I don't think James Harden scored in the fourth quarter. I mean, he had, I want to say 5 points. Maybe he got up to 8 there at halftime, but I mean, he had 5 points midway through the second quarter. Did James Harden, who cooked Denver in game 1 and cooked Christian Brown in game 1. Zubac with 16, Chris Dunn with 5 as well. Batum, man, that guy's got a quick release on that 3-point shot. 6 points. Both of them come from 3-point attempts. Batum had 4 rebounds, 2 steals, a block as well. And Derrick Jones Jr. was 6 points off the bench here too. So the one that got away, we'll see how Denver responds now. But Kawhi went off, and look, it's hard to defend Kawhi when he's healthy and he's locked in and he's ready to go, right? But I don't think Kawhi Leonard going off is the sole reason as to why. Like even if Kawhi went off in the way that he did tonight, Denver should have had the opportunity, not had the opportunity, but Denver still could have absolutely won this game. In my opinion, my view, being here at Ball Arena. So let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll continue on with the conversation. Talk a little Michael Porter Jr., talk a little series as a whole. If you got any thoughts, comments, questions, opinions, go ahead and drop those in the comment section as well. And we'll get back to it here in just a moment when we come back right here on your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Okay, where is my DoorDash? There it is. Okay, NBA fans, you know what time it is. Playoff season means big performances and even bigger rewards. DoorDash is bringing the heat with a slam dunk deal for DashPass members during the 2025 NBA playoffs. It's called They Swoosh, You Score. Anytime a player drops 50 or more points in a playoff game, DashPass members score a free 3-piece crispy tender combo from Wingstop the very next day. Just place an order of $20 or more and use code Wingstop50 at checkout, and that combo is yours. Crispy, delicious, and totally free. Offer valid noon to midnight the day after the game. Terms they do apply. What's your go-to move after an epic game? Are you ordering wings and reliving the highlights? Imagine being rewarded with free food just because someone went off for 50 points. Kawhi Leonard almost did it tonight. Ever looked at your delivery fees and thought, there's got to be a better way? With DashPass, you get $0 delivery fees and exclusive perks like this one. How much would you have saved over the course of the season? So here's the play. Sign up for DoorDash to unlock this and more exclusive deals all season long. Or sign up for DashPass, that is. When any player scores 50 or 50 plus in a playoff game, DashPass members can grab a free 3-piece crispy chicken tender combo from Wingstop the next day with a $20 plus order and code Wingstop50. That's DashPass, your door to more savings, more flavor, and more ways to win. Terms, they do apply. And let me also tell you about our friends over at FanDuel here real quick, guys. The NBA playoffs are almost here, and FanDuel is giving new customers an incredible way to get in on the action. Right now, when you join FanDuel and place your first $5 bet, you'll get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. I love FanDuel. It makes it so easy to bet, whether it's picking my favorite team or diving into player props, from three-pointers to steals to assists. FanDuel has so many ways to bet your favorite player props. Don't miss out. Head to FanDuel.com and claim your $250 in bonus bets today. More from our friends over at FanDuel throughout the course of the playoffs. All right, welcome on back into your Locked On Nuggets postcast. I'm your host, Aniello Piro. You guys can follow me on social media at Media by AP. More content here on Locked On from Ryan Blackburn, Swipa, and Matt Moore throughout the course of the week. Do me a favor, though, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. A frustrating 105-102 Game 2 loss tonight here for the Denver Nuggets. And again, the theme of the show, the one that got away. This was a very winnable game for the Denver Nuggets. You knew the Clippers weren't going to roll over. I was in Tyronn Lue's press conference earlier today, and he talked about how, kind of backing up what I said on Saturday evening, that the Clippers beat themselves in game 1 with those turnovers. And tonight, looking at the turnovers tonight from Denver, how many turnovers do the Clippers have in game 1? 20. How many turnovers do the Denver Nuggets have tonight in game 2? 20. The Clippers had 11. So that's another story of the game that you can kind of wake up tomorrow and think about and digest there a little bit. Is Denver sloppy tonight with the turnovers with those 20 as well? So the turnovers, the free throws, again, 14 for 22 from the charity stripe tonight for Denver. And overall, Kawhi Leonard just balling out here tonight, and David Adelman not calling a timeout in a clutch situation. Interim head coach, uncharted territory for him, only his second game as a head coach in the NBA playoffs. So something he'll learn from. And look, if David Adelman calls a timeout there at the end and draws up a play, there's no guarantee that ball's going in the hoop, especially a three-point shot with the Clippers expecting it, right? So to me, I kind of lump Adelman not calling a timeout and Kawhi popping off in one category of, okay, like, let's be better. Obviously Adelman a missed opportunity there. Kawhi, it is what it is to a certain extent. But you got to control what you can control. And the Denver Nuggets tonight could not control their turnovers, and they could not control their free throw percentage in regards to upping the ante there. They could have controlled that, but they didn't. They didn't control it in a good way, I guess what I'm trying to say. Sorry, it's late. It's 11:30. The Avalanche played as well. It's been a day. I'll put it that way. And, that's the story of the game here tonight. Denver led by as many as 8 points in this one. It was a back-and-forth battle throughout the course of the afternoon or evening, and it's a frustrating loss. So on to the next. I'm very curious about Michael Porter Jr. Seems like he's banged up there, hurt his shoulder there late in the fourth quarter. And he was non-existent in game one, but tonight he showed up 15 and 15. You need that. And as Ryan Blackburn says, and I heard him and Matt Moore talking about it earlier today, even when he's not scoring, Michael Porter Jr. can impact this game in two ways. The rebounding, of course, but also offensively with having the ball in his hand, the spacing that Michael Porter Jr. provides. That's essential. You saw him hit a couple of big threes tonight due to that spacing. So we'll see how Denver responds here. But again, that's a bad taste to have in your mouth. It's a bad taste. So the Clippers, all in all, the Clippers get the job done. 2 games in Denver to start the series. All you're looking to do is win one. And they get the Game 2 victory here tonight, 105-102. So let me know, folks. Let me know how you're feeling out there. Things to keep an eye on. Will Jamal Murray be healthier for Game 3? Or will he get worse with the sickness? You'd imagine he'd get better, assuming it's nothing crazy. What is Michael Porter Jr.'s status moving forward? And when will Jokic, again, he had a triple-double tonight, 26, 12, and 10. But I'm waiting for Jokic to, play that near-perfect version of basketball that we've seen him play throughout the course of his career. So that is going to do it for me tonight, folks. We shall see. Game 3 coming up on Thursday evening. Will be fun. On your way out the door, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well. That way you guys never, ever miss an episode of your Locked On Nuggets postcast. Denver falls in Game 2, 105-102. We'll talk to you guys on Thursday. Have a good one.